All right, aloha and welcome back, shifters, light guardians, dreamers within the dream. Thank you so much for joining in. This is Brendan, Skull Babylon, Wolf Shield, Mystic Spider-Man. We're back for another one of our inspirational team tarot broadcasts. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. For those of you who were already ready to jump in as soon as we went live, thank you so much for being here. And we're just going to take a few moments here to be able to give people an opportunity to join in from other platforms. So for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, thank you so much for joining in for another one of our Inspirational Team Tarot. Click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube and to be able to help participate in possibly facilitating the first reading. And I'll explain to you the setup that we do here. One of the things that's really cool is that we do this as collective team reading. So opposed to it just being like an individual reading, every single reading that we do is for whoever happens to be tuned in at the moment of this broadcast. So for those of you who are tuned in on YouTube, drop an 1111 in the chat. Let me know that you're here, confirm that you can hear me okay. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. Once we have 10 people in the YouTube chat, we'll get into our first reading and I'll give you the instructions on how that works. And thank you so much, everyone, again, for joining in. So keeping an eye open for those comments in the YouTube chat. Aloha and welcome, everybody, so much for making the jump. Even if this might be your first time tuning in, we've been doing these broadcasts. We've been doing all sorts of different broadcasts, and opposed to even just the team meditations and everything. And so doing the team tarot is just one of the exciting variations of the broadcast that we do here through the community. So awesome. Thank you, Chrissy, for joining in. Thank you, Layla, Starslayer, Yo, Ancient. Thank you so much, everyone. We almost got 10 people on YouTube, so let's get ready to get right into this first reading. So here's the way how we do things here. First of all, thank you for joining. These readings that we do, the way how I explain them, this isn't so much supposed to be a fortune telling. It's not so much predicting the future. It's a way for us to work with the cards to be able to receive messages from the universe. Almost kind of like checking in with the cosmic weather is one way that I like to simplify it from that perspective. And so the way how this works is that we do these as team readings. And so we're going to go through as many readings as we can. The first reading, we're going to facilitate it by getting someone to, we're going to do a mini game in the chat. So that's only available for the YouTube people. So for those of you who are tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, if you guys want to take part in the mini game to be able to see if you can help facilitate the first reading, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube and you can get involved with that. But we're going to be doing that in the next minute. So again, these are collective team readings. So it's a really, really cool way to be able to do it this way. So anybody who's tuned in, you'll still be able to receive additional insight and inspiration. And the context of us doing this isn't just the tarot readings. This is us building a team of shifters, people who are actively helping assist with the shift in consciousness. So when we're bringing the inspiration through the messages that we're getting from the cards, we're going to kind of be creating it in the context of supporting this community that we're building. And again, this community of shifters, of light guardians, people who are helping make a difference in the world through acts of creativity, through acts of compassion, through personal development. And thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of the team. So the mini game that we are going to do, the winner of this mini game will be the person that's going to help facilitate the drawing of the first reading. And what we do is we do like a little meditation. I'll walk you through that as we get there. The mini game is available for people who are on YouTube. So if you're not on YouTube, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, here's the mini game. All right. I'm going to give you a number bracket. So I'm going to give you a bracket between one number and another number. The first person, and then I'm going to pick a number within that bracket. The first person to guess the number that I've chosen will be the first person to help facilitate the first reading. And you guys get 3 guesses, only type 1 guess at a time, and I'll do some like commentary as we do it. So okay, all right, team. So as we're going through this, we're going to get ready to do the mini game for our first reading. Again, for those of you who may be new, if it's your first time here, go ahead, let us know, drop a 333 in the comments. And for those of you who are regulars, just feel free to welcome people to what it is that we got going on here. And we'll be on air for at least the next couple hours. And again, as we're doing these broadcasts, as we're doing these tarot readings, Our goal is also to be able to invite people to the Patreon. You can see the information down below for those of you on YouTube. We're currently at 174. Our next target goal is 175. I'll explain more about the Patreon as we go, but again, that's where you can support the work that I do with monthly contributions. And the cool thing is when you sign up to the Patreon, you'll also get to help facilitate the next reading that we do. So let's work on getting that first Patreon sign up, I'd say by 10:30. So that's the objective, to be able to get that first Patreon sign up by 10:30. And let's just focus on the first reading now, and I'll explain to you a little bit more about the Patreon. But if you're new, go ahead, check it out. And it's a really cool way to be able to connect with exclusive content and also our private community space for conscious creators and leaders. So it's a really, really cool way to connect with an awesome team that's there to support you. All right, I'm going to choose a number. You guys ready? If you guys are ready for this, drop an 1111 in the comment. Let me know if you guys are ready for this, and I'm going to walk you through this. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, last reminder, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube if you want to take part in the mini game, and that's just a primary chat. Okay, thank you guys for hanging out. Here we go. All right, I'm choosing a number bracket. Okay. All right. Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm going to tell you the number bracket. Once I tell you the number bracket, you guys can start making your guesses. Only make one guess at a time. You have 3 guesses. The first person to guess the number that I've chosen in my mind that I'll be psychically communicating to you. So this is like a psychic intuitive game. Will be the first person who gets to facilitate the first reading for us tonight. All right, here we go. The number is between 60 and 90. The number is between 60 and 90. Go ahead and leave your guesses in the chat. Only one guess at a time, 3 guesses total for each person. First person to guess a number that I've chosen in my mind will be the first person to facilitate our first reading for tonight. And again, the guesses only count if you're on TikTok and Instagram, or sorry, if you're on YouTube. So if you're on TikTok or Instagram, make the jump, click the link in my profile, tune in on YouTube. All right, and here come the numbers. And Chrissy's out the gate with a 78, and Layla drops in an 87. Yeah, I do like this horse racing announcer type thing. And Daisy drops in with a 78. Starslayer coming in with a 76, and another 78 by Jessica. Kristen dropping in a 68. Uriel dropping in a 77. Daisy coming up with an 87 from behind, and Cece dropping in. I'm like having to read all these names really fast with a 77. Oh, lots of numbers in the 70s. They've almost knocked out the entire 10 digits within the 70s. Hans dropping in a 70, a 73. Starslayer aiming high with a 93. Reminder, the brackets between 60 and 90 as well. Daisy dropping in an 84. Layla dropping in a 76. Or sorry, a 66. Chrissy dropping in 89. From the Forest dropping in a 68. Oh, they're still going. No one's got it yet. It's down to the wire. There's only a few numbers left. Who's gonna get it? Kristen drops in an 89. Cece drops in their next guess with a 60. For those of you who have already used your 3 guesses, go ahead. You guys can get another guess in there, and we'll get it. Someone's going to get it. Like, someone's going to get it any second now. Sometimes there's been the odd time where this has actually just taken a really long time, which was hilarious. Chrissy dropping in at 62, Izzy dropping in at 81, Starslayer with a 71, with an 81, another 71. Oh my goodness, back-to-back doubles. What is going on here? No one's got it yet. See, at this point it actually takes strategy, because you actually got to like go up and be like, oh crap, like what numbers haven't been used yet. This is where it's a mini game. There's like a strategy here. You could almost like wait for other people to guess and then try later. Kristen dropping in a 73, Hans dropping in an 84, Starlight dropping in an 87, Daisy dropping in a 61, Kristen dropping in a 75. No one's got it yet, but they're getting close. There's only so many numbers left. Who's gonna get it? Again, the guesses only count for those of you who are on YouTube. So again, for those of you on TikTok, I'm sorry, your guesses don't count. It's only for the YouTube, and that's just because it's fair, because the YouTube's got its own delay. Oh, and Kristen drops in a 75, and Starlight hits it with an 85. Starlight wins. Wah, 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 wah. Congratulations, Starlight. Starlight was the first person to get it with an 85. Good job. All right, you guys can ease up. Let me just double check. I'm just making sure that nobody else got the 85. It's possible somebody mentioned 85 on TikTok, but again, the rules are just again, you guys have to be in the YouTube chat. So for those of you who are in the TikTok, I apologize again for just like the fact that you may have gotten it, but again, the guesses only count for those who are on YouTube. So let that be an incentive to click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. So beautiful. All right, congratulations, Starlight. Starlight, let me know that you're ready for this. Let's get right into this next reading. And again, as we do this, let's work on getting that first Patreon sign up tonight by 8:30. And so the first person who signs up on the Patreon with a monthly contribution will be the next person who also helps facilitate the next reading, and you'll be helping us reach our Patreon goal, which again is 175, and we're currently at 174, and then the next one will be like 182 will be the next target goal. So awesome. All right, good job, team. Okay, let's get ready to do this. Starlight is ready, and again, the Patreon only takes a few minutes to sign up, and when you sign up, you can also get discounts for the shop, such as super cool Light Guardian crystals, and you actually make your money back when you sign up onto the Patreon and get one of these. So we'll talk more about the Patreon as we go, but for those of you who are already Patreon supporters, please feel free to help plug it. Like, you guys know that that's a big part of the objective. So if you guys are like a fan of my work, if my fan on TikTok, our meditations, signing up to the Patreon doesn't only support me, it supports the community, and it supports you by giving you access as a leading member. So go ahead and check that out, and let's get into this reading. All right, so for everybody here, Starlight, I think you're kind of familiar with how we do the routine here. So we're going to go through a little meditation, but I want everybody to do it. Everybody is invited to do it. Everybody is invited to collectively focus their intention. The intention we're going to hold together is the intention of show us what we need to see. So again, for everybody here, practice focusing in on that intention. Okay. So for everybody here, go ahead and join me in just doing a little micro meditation. We're going to charge the deck. And then we're going to get Starlight to type now into the chat as we walk them through this. And then that's when we split the deck. So it's a really cool way to be able to kind of like work with the synchronicity of things. Okay, here we go. So for everybody here, just go ahead, close your eyes, straighten your spine, open your chest, relax your face. And as you listen to my voice, gently begin connecting with your breath. Soft, gentle inhales, soft, gentle exhales. Allowing yourself to breathe here, and with each breath, just bringing yourself into this space of gratitude. You can put your hand on your chest and just expressing and feeling gratitude for the team, for the messages we are about to receive, for the space we are creating. This is a team of shifters, of light guardians, people who are helping assist with the shifting consciousness. So as we are here, we are grateful for the messages we are here to receive, to support us on this journey, on this intention. So as we stay in this space of gratitude for everybody here, collectively focus your intention on the idea of show us what we need to see. So focus your attention on the intention of show us what we need to see. We being the collective, we being the individual, we being the team. And so focusing on that intention, show us what we need to see. I want you to speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Starlight, I want you to keep focusing on that intention. Take a few breaths and listen to your intuition. And when you are ready, type now into the chat. For everybody else, keep focusing on that intention. Gently open your eyes, return your awareness to the space around you, and type your wizard noises in the chat. For those of you who are new, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but go ahead and type wizard noises. What we're going to do, we're going to charge the deck, and we're going to keep an eye open for Starlight typing now in the chat, and then we're going to split the deck. So here we go. And oh, my friends, here we are once again, unfolding through this journey that never truly ends. For with each layer of the spiral, we continue to find more. We continue to open new doors to explore on this quest that we are on this journey that we are taking part within, as we continue to see what is true and what is something. Rhyme, words. And so as the magic continues to unfold through the night, let us open up our hearts to see with great light. Now, says Starlight. Whoa, okay, this card jumped out. Alright, this card was eager to jump out there. I don't know if you guys saw that. Zoo, 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 pew, 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 brr, 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 brr. I was reading your guys' comments. So All right, okay, so the first card that we have pulled for tonight with Starlight helping facilitate, but again, with the entire team, you guys put in your intentions. I felt your intention. Wizard noises, wizard noises. The first card that we have pulled is Flames number 6. So I'm going to show that to you guys on camera. We're going to read what it says in the book, and then I'm going to channel some additional inspiration using my superpowers, and we're going to hype you guys up. And again, if you're here, this message is for you. This isn't just for Starlight. Starlight was just the person helping volunteer to facilitate it. And again, for anybody here, thank you for being here, and thank you for being open to the messages that are here for all of us, that are here to support us. So for those of you on TikTok and for those of you on Instagram, join the primary chat by clicking the link in my profile and joining in on YouTube. Like, I'd prefer if you guys do that way, so I can have all the comments in one space. And again, for those of you on Facebook, you can also find the link down below. But again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. And you can also find the link for my Patreon there. So if you guys are fans of my work and you're in a position to support financially, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. Help us reach our next milestone goal. And again, you can sign up there at the $11 a month level or higher and join as a leading member. And so with these broadcasts that we do, we'll do as many Team Tarot readings as we can throughout the night. I'll stay on here pumping and hyping you guys up, putting in that energy. And again, we'll work towards our Patreon goals. So let's work towards 175. And then after that, we'll just keep going from there. So I want to see if we can hit 180 tonight. I know that's a high mark, but let's work on getting that first Patreon sign up by 10:30. If you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and drop a 555 in the chat. And thank you so much, all of you, for your support. Let's focus in on this reading. We'll keep an eye on the Patreon as we go. And again, the next person who signs up for the Patreon will be the next person who helps facilitate the next reading. So let's do this, team. Thank you again, everyone. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile because it's hard for me to show you the camera, like the image, because I'm showing it to YouTube right now. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to explain the visual image of the card, and then we're going to get into the book. Six of Flames. So here we have this beautiful image of this six-pointed mandala floating in the sky, and you can see there's like sacred geometry behind it, very much akin to almost kind of like the stereotypical snowflake that you would see. But again, with this, you can see they're literally like pillars of light, beams of light shooting in all directions. You can also see, for whatever reason, there's kind of like, it's kind of like a gradient in a rectangle shape, and then on the left and the right, the gradient ends, so you can see the actual background of the sky, and you can just see this beautiful landscape down below. Again, this is literally just me explaining the visual image of the card. Okay, let's read into the book here, and then I'll extrapolate and I'll do some additional channeling. So thank you again, everyone. Again, if it's your first time here, drop a 333 in the comments. The way how we do this, as you guys are listening, just kind of close your eyes, meditate, be open. And if you hear something that resonates, drop an 1111 in the chat, and then also write out an affirmation relative to the message of this card, because that will tell your body that you're paying attention, and it will help you remember and embody it. So this is like an assignment for you. So you'll see what I mean with the affirmations as we go, especially if you're new. If you're new here, it's cool. Just chill out. All right, team, let's go through this, and let's keep an eye open for that Patreon sign up. Let's reach that 175. Let's do this. All right, again, Patreon link is in the info. For those of you on YouTube, you can click up there. It only takes 5 minutes to sign up, and contributions only processed on the 1st of each month, so you can sign up tonight. Nothing even comes out of your bank account until September 1st. All right, team, let's do this. Six of Flames. The image. Rising above all earthly things, a majestic six-pointed star radiates from the clarity of the universe and bathes pastoral countryside on earth in a state of peaceful harmony. And yeah, when I read this, I use my like magic voice. This is like my like wizard voice, so it like helps like the message come through, and it like speaks to your soul or something like that. So we're here to have fun. Let's do this, team. All right. One second here. Okay. Meaning, as a result of previous efforts, man finally reaps recognition and honor. Typical of successful undertakings are a positive attitude regarding one's intentions and the goal-oriented use of one's strength. The community recognition which brings inherent success requires double the amount of responsibility and increased attentiveness. Due to his position, man stands in the center of public events. Besides being responsible for the duties that social status invokes, his actions and character serve as a role model for the collective consciousness. So you know how I said that we take the messages here and we relate them to the community we're creating? The community we're creating is a team of conscious media creators. So that's like when you sign up onto the Patreon, you get to join like our private team of conscious media creators. This card is like all about the role of conscious media creators, putting yourself in a position where you have people's attention. I'll keep reading here and then we'll go into more detail. A meaningful existence makes the responsibility that is to be borne a pleasure rather than a burden. In the centeredness of self, the security is found that is necessary to fulfill their duties. Therefore, man can let their inner strengths rest in peace. The victory that comes is not due to the oppression of someone else, but due to the control over the base nature of man. Whoever conquers another has strength. Whoever conquers himself has power. That's a powerful line. I'm going to reread that. Whoever conquers another has strength. Whoever conquers himself has power. Man stands on the sunny side of life. Relative to outer success, inner life also takes on a new dimension of awareness. With the increase of life quality, the qualities of the heart also increase, as well as the capacity to find and recognize inner happiness. Whoever recognizes the connection of his own being with the divine being on a deeper level of identity remains in spite of the honor that is his due. Modest in all walks of life without succumbing to arrogance. Astrological significance: Sun, Jupiter, trine and sextile aspects. Keywords: initiative, goal-oriented, strength, leadership qualities, responsibility, satisfaction, peacefulness, collected strength, awareness of responsibilities, quality of life, self-confidence, sunny side of life. Traditional meaning: recognition, honor, victory, success, fame, power, self-control, reward. Very cool. Okay, so again, when we do these tarot readings, the way how we do them is these cards, these readings, the intention here is to serve as a mirror for us to be able to see parts of ourselves. And so this is a very, very powerful card. And when it comes to the flames have a lot to do with that expressive energy, that creative energy, being able to be that beacon, being a light for others to be able to see and to be inspired by. So with this card, like I said, this card very reflects a lot on kind of like the archetype that each and every single one of us has the potential to step into simply by choosing to be a conscious media creator, or by being an artist, by putting yourself in a place of influence to be able to serve others. And with this card, it's really being able to encourage us that as we move into this place where we are recognized for the ways that we're helping people, or the gifts that we're sharing, or the art that we're expressing, that we have to maintain to the best of our ability this humility, and to keep in check with our values, to be able to keep in check with our morals, to make sure that we're not just becoming popular and letting it get to our head, so to speak. And so again, with this, it kind of literally relates even to if some of you saw the TikTok video that I made earlier today about the TikTok algorithm. One of the things I said was, like, popularity and success are two very, very different things. So for some people, they might become very popular, but if they're not grounded within their own heart, if they're not balanced within their own heart, if they haven't mastered themselves, then that lack of imbalance will reflect into the work and into the relationships with their growing community. So with this, it's reminding us that each and every single one of us is here to be able to show up, share gifts, and to assist others within this collective shift in consciousness. Again, that's exactly what I'm here to support. Like, that's the team that we have been building, like a team of people who are doing this, who are actively doing this. And with the process of doing this, your work isn't just to create content or to help others or to make a business or to do whatever it is that you do that you feel called to. Your most important job, and this is very, very important what I'm about to tell you, your most important job is to take care of yourself. That is your job, first and foremost, because when you take care of yourself, that will echo into everything else. That will echo into the relationships that you're building when you are in a place of recognition. Even if it's just a little bit of recognition, it doesn't matter. Like, honestly, like, when it comes to leadership, this card is really encouraging us to be able to step into a place of leadership. And there's a very, very powerful idea when it comes to leadership, something that has been kind of my like mindset for a while, of this idea of be a leader even when no one is looking. So that idea that like you need to be a leader of your own mind, you need to be a leader of your own thoughts, you need to be a leader of your own actions, even when no one is looking. Don't just kind of like put on this like version of yourself when other people are expecting you to act a certain way. Take care of yourself so that when you do show up to the community, you are showing up as like the authentic version of yourself that the community deserves. You know, like that's a big thing. I'll say something that's like really, really powerful, and this can be applied to any relationship. Do your best to give people what they deserve when it comes to who you bring yourself as into that relationship, you know? Like, especially if you think about this, like again, it can be something where it's like in a place of influence. If again you're a speaker, if you're a leader, if you're you know, running an organization, if you're a boss, if you're a celebrity, whatever it may be, or again if you're a conscious creator on TikTok, or again if you're literally in just a relationship with someone else, which is still calling us into a place of leadership. In those process, really reflect on this idea that you want to be able to show up as the best version of yourself for that person, because that is what they deserve. So sometimes it's like the responsibility actually calls us into a deeper level of being honest with ourselves, because you wouldn't want to show up in a relationship like with a partner where it's like, you know, you put on this face and you're just like, you know, doing your best you can. But then again, but this could be part of the shadow work, so I'm not trying to shame this, but then, you know, who you are kind of on your own is like not really who you always kind of bring yourself into, or there's like certain things that maybe just like haven't sort of revealed themselves yet. And again, I'm not trying to shame that, because there's obviously all sorts of like complexities to that. But don't do it in if it's something you're moving through and you're healing, that's different. But don't do it in like some sort of like chauvinistic, cocky way, where again you're kind of like putting on different fake versions of yourself, unless a part of what you're doing is authentically putting on a fake version of yourself as a form of theatrics. That's a little bit different. When, like, and I'm not saying don't do that in a relationship. Don't put on theatrics within a relationship. I'm saying if you're doing that from a place of like leadership and creative expression, so to speak, you know, that's a little bit different. But still, regardless, with this card, the message here is to really be able to understand that from that place of like from that place of being able to have other people's attention, with that comes a lot of responsibility. But with that responsibility, it also calls us into a higher level of ourselves, to really be able to focus on things like being goal oriented, to really be able to focus on things like being able to cultivate collective strength, and to be able to bring people together, and to be able to invite them to be echoes of you, so to speak. You know, like your community will become like a holographic relationship of you, which, like, again, like straight up, like with the work that I've been doing this again since like, you know, 2009. Like I got a lot of expertise in this field, and I do my best to be able to like show up within my own heart, because I know that holographically I'll be attracting the people that I resonate with. So with that, it's a very, very important thing as artists for each and every single one of us to be in alignment with ourselves, so that we will continue to attract other people who are also in alignment with our own alignment. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Drop those 1111s if this is resonating with you. I'm just going to talk about this for a little bit longer, and then we'll get ready to move into the next step. But again, with this, the traditional meaning: recognition, honor, victory, success, fame, power, self-control, reward. So even just as an idea, what would it feel like if you just like woke up tomorrow and you just had, you know, the attention of like thousands and thousands of people? What would you do? What would you say? How would you act? And if you can kind of even approach your content in this idea that, let's say you're creating content right now, if you're a conscious creator, and if you're a conscious creator, again, like, thank you as well. Thank you everyone for being here, because again, we're building a team of conscious creators, right? I'll talk more about that. But this is a trick that I've learned. Show up for your community as if it's like 1 million people, even if it's only 10, you know? Like show up in that same way, where you're kind of like showing up with like big visions and big responsibility and big commitment, like big devotion, and really just bringing in the best versions of yourself, because the challenges are there to bring forth the inner leader. There's a leader inside all of us. It's going to look different. It's always going to look different in different people. So this is really about owning our self-confidence and knowing that our self-confidence is what is needed right now, because we need leaders. We need beacons. We need, like, again, you look at the image, it's like this beautiful 6-pointed star. Like that's us. That's one of us. That's what we look like when we're leading. We're literally like this like shining star in the sky. And with that, other people see us, and then again, they're inspired by that as well. So Let this card be a reminder that now is the time for each of us to be able to step into a place of leadership and act in love. Yeah, to be able to like step into it with this intention, to be able to be ambassadors of peace, to be able to be ambassadors of inspiration, to really be able to do it from an altruistic place where you're serving and you're inspiring and you're helping assist with a shift in consciousness. And in the process, you're also activating like more of your own strength, your strength as both a leader, but also even just as like, you know, a channel for conscious creativity. So yeah, super cool card there. Again, drop those 1111s if this resonates with you. Absolutely, this is definitely about being like, again, the beacons, the lighthouse, the Jedi, the pillars of light. The word Jedi literally means pillars of light. So very cool card for us to be able to receive right off the bat. Definitely resonates. And again, for those of you who are just like vibing off what we're talking about here, like context wise, we have been building, I've been building this for 10 years, a team of conscious media creators. Like, I've been creating conscious media for many years. I'm professionally trained. I got like 12 years of professional experience, and I'm here to help other creators get involved as conscious creators as well. And again, when you guys sign up onto the Patreon at the $11 level, that's where you can join as a leading member, and you can do that not just to support me, but as like an investment for yourself. Being in that space, being in that community of other people, and what you also get is access to me as a conscious media creation coach. It's a very cool way just to be able to be in a space that's going to be like you being like, fuck yes, to yourself in terms of being able to support what it is that you're moving towards. So quick affirmation for this one, and then we'll read the other affirmations in the chat as we're doing this. Quick affirmation, and you can make this up. Affirmation for me is to be able to arrive into roles of leadership with a balanced heart and an inspired spirit. That's my little affirmation. I just kind of like made that up, but you guys can leave an affirmation down in the chat, and I encourage you to do that because it will help you just kind of like get into this mindset of, it will tell your body that you were listening, and it'll help you embody the message that came through with the 6 of Flames. So very cool card right there to be able to start the broadcast with. So thank you so much again, Starlight, for for being able to help facilitate. And guys, good news, we actually did get our first Patreon sign up as we were doing that. So thank you so much to Isabella. If you are tuned in on YouTube, go ahead and let us know where you're tuned in from, and that way we can say a special thank you just by knowing which username you are in the chat. So thank you so much, Isabella, for adding their support. They're signed up on the Patreon at the $5 level. So I'm gonna update the information on the screen there in the next moment. And once we get confirmation of where Isabella is in the chat, we'll get them to help facilitate the next reading that we do. And we'll work our way towards being able to keep reaching that Patreon goal as we move through this broadcast. And again, as we get more people signed up, we'll just keep going from like reading to reading to reading to reading. So the next person that signs up will help facilitate the next reading. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for adding your support. So Isabella, let us know where you are in the team chat. That's Izzy in the team chat. All right, so for everybody here, please give a nice thank you to Izzy in the YouTube chat. So Izzy, thank you so much. All right, updating the on-screen graphic. And Izzy, just curious, how long have you been following my content? Because again, I just want to make sure that like when you get a chance, if you were in a rush, you can go back and like read more about the additional options as a leading member. And be sure to connect to our team chat if you're interested in joining that as well. And again, for those of you who are interested, if you guys just want to like, if this is a lot of information and you're still thinking about things, what you can do is you can connect to our team chat and you can just see how we got things set up there. And that will direct you towards more information. And then later on, you can join on the Patreon and join as a leading member. And then that will give you full access to the team chat. And leading members, which again are our Patreon supporters at $11 or higher, they also get to join our on-air team podcast that we do Thursdays at 8 p.m. EST. And this Thursdays is an open mic jam. It's a conscious open mic jam. So looking forward to that one. All right. And again, make sure you guys are subscribed to my YouTube if you aren't yet. So again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, make sure you click the link in my profile to be able to join in. Cool. Awesome. Izzy, thank you so much. Izzy, you only found me about a week ago, so that's awesome. So Izzy, again, we'll get you to facilitate the next reading. And afterwards, if you got time, go ahead and check out the Patreon. And just, even if you want to just be able to jump into the team chat, let us know that you're there. And if you want to like upgrade to the Patreon at the leading member level, that's always an option. So thank you again, Izzy. And Izzy, you also get to choose if you would like the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck. So you can choose which one you want to be able to use for the team. And again, this is still a team reading as we're doing this. So Izzy's going to help facilitate. And again, the reading is literally like for the collective of the team. So again, Izzy, let us know in the chat, the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck. And the Lightworker Oracle deck's always, it's really interesting. It's quite different from the Tarot deck. So again, it's an Oracle deck, so it's a little bit more unique. I have a feeling we're gonna go with the Lightworker Oracle deck. There's always a delay on the messages, so I'll ask a question and then it takes a little bit. But yes, I'm just gonna assume and get ready for the Lightworker Oracle deck, and then we'll move into the next part of the meditation. Beautiful. All right, thank you again, everybody, for joining in. For those of you on TikTok, if you guys haven't yet, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. Same for those of you on Instagram. And again, you can join in on YouTube to join our primary chat there. And Izzy, let us know. Izzy wants to go for the Ananda Tarot deck. Okay, all right. I psyched myself out there, which is totally fine. We'll save the Lightworker Oracle deck. Next person who signs up for the Patreon, that will be an option where you can choose to use the Lightworker Oracle deck. And let me just update the info on screen. So you can currently see we're currently at 175, working our way up to 182. Again, if we can make 180 tonight, like, yo, that would be like, whew, oh man. We'll see. We'll go as long as I'm capable of going, because again, I have to be mindful of my own energy, because this takes up it takes a lot of energy doing this, even just with my throat. All right, Izzy, let me know that you're ready, and let's get ready to move into this meditation. For everybody here, I invite you to join us in this little meditation. Okay. Beautiful. Awesome. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, now's a good time to click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And on YouTube, you can also find the link for the Patreon. As we get ready to move into this, we're just waiting for Izzy to confirm that they're ready. We're going to get into meditation. Let's set our goal for getting our next Patreon sign up before 11 p.m. EST. So we're currently at 10:35 on my clock, so we've got about 25 minutes. Oh, Izzy does want the Lightworker Oracle deck. Okay. Switching it up here. Yeah, Izzy, just make sure you're like up to speed on the live. I'm not sure. It's possible you might be like a little bit behind, but just make sure you click the live button if you haven't yet. But Izzy, when you're ready, let us know, and we're gonna do the Lightworker Oracle deck. Okay, perfect. Izzy's ready. Okay, all right, we're on track. All right, team, so let's get right into this next reading. Thank you again, Izzy, one of our newest Patreon supporters. Let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up by before 11 p.m. EST. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, my Patreon link is in my profile, but it's also in the YouTube info. Click the info to jump over to YouTube. All right, Izzy, let's focus on this for everybody here, inviting you to join us in meditating and setting the intention. If you are here, this reading is also for you. All right, Izzy, thank you again. When you're ready, for everybody here, go ahead. Straighten your posture, open your shoulders, relax your face, gently begin to connect with your breath. Soft, gentle inhales and soft, gentle exhales. As you breathe here, just bring yourself into the space of gratitude. You can put your hand on your chest and just allow yourself to be able to receive this gratitude, express this gratitude for yourself, for showing up to receive these messages, gratitude for the messages themselves, gratitude for the team, gratitude for the space. In this space of gratitude, Izzy, and for everybody, focus your attention on the intention of show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. And focusing on that intention, show us what we need to see. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Izzy, continuing to focus on that intention. Take a few breaths here. Listen to your own intuition, and when you're ready, type now into the chat. For everybody else, go ahead, open your eyes, and type in your wizard noises into the chat. I love you guys. You guys type the best wizard noises, seriously. Let's charge the deck, and as Izzy types now, we will split the deck. Here we go. And oh, what magic we will continue to see through all the ways in which the path will set us free into new realms of possibility as we continue to explore, as we continue to open up all of these magical doors to discover new parts of ourselves, to be able to reach for the gifts on the top shelf. To be able to unfold as love through this land, to be able to show others the gifts that we have brought in hand. Now, says Izzy. Guys love those sound effects. All right, the card that we have pulled for the team on behalf of Izzy. Wow, oh, I like this one. This one's really, really cool. I'm glad we chose this one. The thing that's interesting is every time when we do these readings, for those of you who are new, the readings are sequential. One reading will actually lead into the next, and then they usually cross over, and this one definitely does that. The card that we've pulled is card number 21, Spiritual Service. So I'm going to show you that there for those of you on YouTube. I'll show you on Instagram, TikTok, and I'll open up the book. We'll read through that a little bit more, and let's get ready to dive into this reading. And as I'm doing that, I, of course, just want to give another huge thank you, guys. We actually did just get our next Patreon sign up. Thank you so much to Pat. Pat, if you are tuned in, let us know where you are tuned in from. And for everybody here, once we confirm where Pat is in the chat, let's give a nice warm thank you to Pat. And I'm just going to update the info on that, and we'll focus on this reading. And again, Pat will do the next reading for you. We'll get you to help facilitate. And then from there, we'll set the next target goal for 11:15. We'll work on getting our next Patreon sign up. So just updating that very quickly. Thank you, Pat, so much. And all right, we're good. Perfect. All right, let's dive into this card. Okay, and Pat, I'll keep an eye open for where you are in the chats. So beautiful. All right, let's just explain this card visually first and foremost. So number 21, Spiritual Service. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile so you can see the YouTube camera, because it's hard for me to show the card to both. So right now I'm showing it to the YouTube camera. So click the link in my profile to jump over there. All right, this is a very, very beautiful image that we have here. This entire deck just has like this incredibly like powerful imagery. And so what we have here, we have this image of this being, this human, standing underneath this ray of light, literally holding the earth in their hands. And then there's like another being, which is essentially a depiction of an angel, a stereotypical version of an angel. And they kind of got like no legs. They got like a wisp around their waist, which is kind of cool. And yeah, just this very, very powerful look, this powerful energy. You can kind of see energy kind of coming in from the brow, from the crown chakra, or maybe it's emitting. And yeah, just this overall very powerful, peaceful feeling. And a subtle detail, you can actually see the angel is almost like dropping like fairy dust. It's hard to see, but there's like little like specks. There's like little specks of fairy dust that they're kind of dropping onto the earth. So pretty cool. Okay, so that's just a literal image, and now I'm gonna open up and we're gonna read from here, and then I'll channel some additional inspiration. Again, Pat, let us know where you are tuned in, that way so we can give you a shout out. We'll keep an eye open for that. For everybody here, if you're here, this message is for you. Again, this is a team tarot reading, so building our team of conscious creators and leaders. All right, here we go. Listen with your heart. This message is for you. Number 21, Spiritual Service. Self-doubt can be a habit that is hard to break. It can slow down your spiritual progress and the fulfillment of your life purpose. Ultimately, it won't stop you, but it can make your progress seem more challenging. It is easier to fulfill your purpose when you acknowledge that your own goodness and talent and do what you love to the best of your ability. Realize that you are enough, that your work is good, and that you have something of value to offer. It is time to let go of fear of failure. Concern about your ability and your right to live happy and a fulfilled life of success. The universe believes in you. You are being called to service beyond that which you have accomplished thus far. That is because you are ready, capable, and willing to step up to another level of spiritual responsibility. Drop 1111s if anything I say is like resonating with you in the chat. You may be afraid that you cannot perform well enough, that you are not skilled or experienced enough, that you are not as good as others, or that you do not have enough value to offer. These are nothing more than wounded beliefs about your self-worth. It is time to recognize this wounding and not empower these beliefs as truths anymore. Be kind to your mind. It will be happier without such beliefs. You can free yourself from the pain they cause and become more realistic about your gifts and your potential. Now it is the time for you to trust love more than your wounds. Okay, I'm gonna reread that part again. That part's really big. Now it is time for you to trust love more than your wounds. That's powerful. As you release these old beliefs, you create more space within you to receive impressions of how you can most joyfully serve the greater good. No longer hampered by undermining and draining beliefs and self-doubt, you will have more energy to act on your intuition and guidance. If at any time you find yourself blocked by fear or performance anxiety, it can be helpful to release these blocks by simply asking yourself how you could best serve the greater good at this time. The answer to these questions will never be to shrink back in fear. It will always be to choose belief over doubt. It will be to move ahead, to take the opportunity ordered to you at a vote of confidence from the universe. This realization will bring you peace of mind so you can resume your progress and share what you have with the world. If you have been working hard, taking the opportunities that have come to you, and are still feeling as though you are not quite where you wish to be in terms of fulfilling your life purpose and divine destiny, you are now asked to acknowledge all that you have attained so far. Acknowledge all the people who have assisted you who you have assisted in your own special way. All the positive influence of love that you have added to the collective human soul through your willingness to take your spiritual journey, open your heart, and care about life on earth. Your spiritual service can be noted by the spiritual world, and you will be empowered to serve in increasingly beautiful ways. Your service is already successful and will only increase in potency, power, and peace. Wow. Super, super powerful, beautiful message to be able to receive there. So I'm going to channel some more insight relative to that, and we're going to dive into that one. If that resonates with you, drop those 1111s in the chat, and you can begin writing out any affirmations as well to be able to echo the message of this. Shout out Pat, seeing you in the chat. Let's give a nice warm thank you to Chad, aka the United, in the YouTube chat. Pat, thank you so much for adding your support on the Patreon. And again, we'll get you to help facilitate the next reading. Let's just keep focusing on this one. This is a dope message. So again, Izzy, good job on pulling this card. So with this card, it kind of goes hand in hand with the previous message about being able to put ourselves in positions of influence, put ourselves kind of in a spotlight, put ourselves in a way where others can see and hear and take notice of our leadership. This card kind of is almost like a prequel to that card. It's kind of acknowledging the idea that for many of us, simply being able to step into that place of service is something that is a journey of us being able to heal wounded beliefs, as it says. Because how many of you right now can think of times where you're just like, oh yeah, I really want to do something, but a little voice inside me tells me that I'm not good enough, or I won't compare, and therefore eventually, unfortunately for many of us, we'll convince ourselves not to do something despite the fact that we are actually excited to do it. And that's okay. It's okay if that is a part of your story, but it's being able to acknowledge that that is a pattern that you have the opportunity to move beyond, that you have a pattern that you have the opportunity to break and release. And by being able to do that, you're also being able to become more aware of the wounded belief systems of your self-worth. It's time to recognize this wounding and not empower these beliefs as truth anymore. Be kind to your mind. It will be happier without such beliefs. You can free yourself from the pain they cause and become more realistic about the gifts of your potential. Now it is time for you to trust love more than your wounds. So for a lot of us, this is basically saying that each and every single one of us has a way to be in service for the collective. Each and every single one of us has a way to be able to help assist with the shift in consciousness. And oftentimes, a big part of our journey is being able to kind of like get out of our own way, to be able to, again, be able to create the space where we can allow ourselves to receive the awareness of our own gifts. Because right now, if we're populating our mind with this idea of I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, then we're filling our basket. It's like things are already full, and then it prevents us from being open to being able to see and acknowledge the gifts that we already have. And with this card, I really like this card because it really acknowledges the idea of taking time to acknowledge the ways in which you have already made a difference in this world, the little ways. And this is a big part, again, with the project of what we do with the team that we've been building. Prior to the pandemic, a big part of our narrative was encouraging people to get out there and do free hugs. And why would we do that? Because it's something that anybody can do, and it's something that can plant a powerful seed, and it can literally change someone's life. That is a form of service. So with this card, I invite each and every single one of you to allow yourself to acknowledge the things that you have already done that have made a difference in people's lives, even if it's just within your personal family. Like, it's always going to be relative. You're always going to be right where you need to be. And even if you're just focusing on a few people, like, that's still okay. That's still important. The important thing is you are where you are called to. And so again, with this, like, on behalf of the universe, forwarding the message to you, like, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for opening your heart. Thank you for leading with kindness. Thank you for inspiring others. Thank you for being a mirror for them to see more of themselves. Thank you for being in service. Thank you for being in spiritual service. And may the act of you doing that service continue to inspire you to do more service as you become aware of how capable you actually are, and how much more capable you will become as you continue to remove those self-limiting beliefs, those wounded beliefs, so to speak. So I'm sure each and every single one of us can identify aspects of ourselves that kind of perpetuate these wounded beliefs, but it's important for us to be able to have community, for us to be able to have accountability, for us to be able to surround ourselves with people who have gone through the process but have said, no more. I am choosing to move forward. I'm choosing to believe that I have worthiness. I am choosing to believe that I have my gifts here for a reason. And you do, you 100% do. So again, with this, like, this card really reminds us that each and every single one of us has a gift. And also it reminds us that as community, we need to be able to support each other and being able to continually help bring that gift out into the world, you know, because I think that's what happens sometimes, is that these gifts, they kind of just get tucked away. But that usually happens when people are just kind of like feeling as if they don't have others who can relate. So one thing that I would actually encourage each of you to do is to go out of your way to actually express kindness for other people's service. So if there's someone in your life that does something that you feel is a spiritual service, be it content creation, be it, you know, just being a friendly neighbor, I want you to go out of your way and just be like, hey, I really appreciate what you do. And just notice that them doing that, even if they never expected that little bit of feedback, of verification that what they're doing is making a difference, will make them feel incredibly awesome. And they'll be like, whoa, I'm going to keep doing more of that. And that's what we need. So you can give yourself that. I want to be able to give that to you. I want you to be able to be in a team of people who also are here to be able to help support you in doing that, who are able to help support you in celebrating the little things that you have to offer, because the little things are the big things. So there's an invocation here that I'm going to read, but again, I think this is a very powerful card to say that now is the time for each and every single one of us to step into our spiritual service, to be able to bring more of our spiritual service into the world. And again, to be able to just kind of take the time to be able to sit with the question of what is needed right now. That question in itself will bring you into the place where you'll be able to understand more of how you can serve in these moments. And there's little ways to serve and there's big ways to serve. So allow yourself to just take one step at a time. So I'm going to read the invocation here. This is a really, really cool card. Again, drop those 1111s if you hear it. And this card's like calling us to show up as a team. We're doing it. Like, literally, this is what this is all about. This is about each of us showing up in spiritual service. The more the better. Let's awaken. Watching content online and getting inspired is great, but let's bring that inspiration into our daily actions. That's important. Embodiment and then action. So invocation, as I'm reading this, you can imagine you're kind of just saying this to yourself. Invocation. Universe, I love you. How can I serve you? I accept love's protection and love's purpose in my heart, in my life. Love empowers and protects me, gives me purpose and passion, peace and play. I believe in love, I am love, and I believe in me. May the joy of helping others give me energy and courage to continue to serve and grow spiritually. I'm going to reread that. Say this out loud. Literally, I want you to say this out loud. May the joy of helping others give me energy and courage to continue to serve and grow spiritually. I'm going to say that one more time. May the joy of helping others, give me energy and courage to continue to serve and grow spiritually. You got that? So, may all beings receive your love and be healed through your grace. May all those who want to serve be empowered through mercy, compassion, joy, and love to do so for the greatest good. Through mine own free will, so be it. So again, this is about all of us stepping into our role as spiritual superheroes, and that's the idea, right? Like, being a spiritual superhero doesn't mean you have to like wear a cape. Being a spiritual superhero is being able to use the power of your heart. So as Mystic Spider-Man, I hope some of you see that again, what I'm doing is literally building a team of superheroes. Like, I'm literally bringing the Avengers together, but it's like a spiritual Avengers. It's a spiritual team. It's a spiritual team of creators, and we're encouraging people to tap into their own inner superhero, their own inner spiritual superhero, understanding that each and every single one of us has that superpower. The power to bring forth visions from the higher dimensions and create and inspire and change lives and merge timelines, all sorts of stuff. So super powerful card here. We're going to get ready to move into our next reading. But again, I think this card is definitely a powerful card for us to be able to receive now, just reminding us that now is the time for each and every single one of us to be able to become aware of our wounded beliefs, no longer feed them, kind of like, remove them, don't kind of continue to propagate them. And as we do that, we'll make space for more of that worthiness, that understanding that we do have something to share, we do have value, to see our value, to honor our value, and then to begin developing the service and the gifts and the things that we can do to help change the world. Again, be it through art, be it through conversation, be it through acts of kindness and free hugs, whatever it may be. Card number 21, spiritual service. That was a pretty dope card. So beautiful. All right, go ahead, drop those affirmations down in the chat. Let's read those, and then we'll get ready to move into the next reading for Pat. All right, Pat says, 11:11, I am stepping into my spiritual service. I shall serve effectively in my actions. Beautiful. Layla, trust love more than your wounds. Yes, that was one of the things from the reading. Very powerful. Pat says, I trust love. I am grateful for the clear guidance brought to me. Beautiful. I choose belief over doubt. Good job, Izzy. Awesome. Yeah, very, very powerful message. I'll just kind of pull in an affirmation. Let's see. I will continue to support others in sharing their gifts as we continue to rise together as a team. That's my little affirmation. So, because again, at this point, like, my gifts are like pretty refined. Obviously, I'm still learning, but obviously, again, I have, over a decade of professional experience creating content. So my skills are pretty refined. So now my focus is on helping other people develop their skills, right? Like, opposed to just being like, oh, I need to get better at Photoshop or something like that. It's like, actually, I'd rather take that same energy and put it into helping other people realize their power, realizing their ability to bring things into the world and to show up in service. Very cool. All right. Thank you again, Izzy, for helping facilitate that reading and helping us get that card. Very powerful card. Let's read some more affirmations in the chat relative to that reading for anybody else who has any that they want to share. Thank you again to those of you on TikTok reading some affirmations there from Jack. May the joy of helping others give me energy and courage to continue. I didn't read the full comment. 1 second. All right. Okay, I just have to restart the Instagram feed. So for those of you on Instagram, if you haven't yet, just click the link in my profile and just watch on YouTube. I would prefer that you do. That's where the primary team chat is, and then that way you don't have to miss out when I restart. Plus the audio is better and the camera's better. Same for those of you on TikTok. Click the link in my profile to jump over. Any other affirmations, we'll read those on the chat. All right, just restarting the Instagram here. Stand by. Here we go. Cool. All right. Thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. And oh my goodness, we actually did just get another Patreon sign up. Thank you so much to Christine. Christine, thank you so much for adding your support on the Patreon. And Christine, let me know. I assume Christine is, yeah, okay, Chrissy in the chat. I was able to solve that mystery. Put two and two together. Those detective skills are paid off. We'll give a moment here for Chrissy to join in and confirm that they're back in the chat. They're probably just jumping over right now. But Chrissy, thank you so much for adding your support. And once Chrissy's back in the chat, we'll give a nice warm thank you there. So. All right, okay, going live on Instagram. And Pat, let me know if you're ready. And Pat, let's get ready to move into the next reading. Pat, aka the United, would you like the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot deck? So which one would you like? We just did the Lightworker. We can do another Lightworker. Like I'm cool with whatever. We can just do Lightworker all night long. So, and we'll do that, and then we'll get into Chrissy's reading shortly after. All right, just restarting the Instagram feed here. Thank you again for those of you for your support on all platforms. If you're on TikTok, thank you again just for hanging out. And a reminder, click the link in my profile to join in on the YouTube as well. For those of you on Facebook, I don't even know if anybody's on Facebook. For those of you on Facebook, if you want to jump over to YouTube, that way I can see your comments, please do. Okay, just restarting the Instagram feed. 1 second. All right, back for more Inspirational Team Tarot on Instagram and all platforms. Chrissy, thank you so much for adding your support to the Patreon. For everybody here, let's give a nice warm thank you to Chrissy in the chat for adding their support. I'm going to update the graphics, and once we've confirmed with from Pat which deck they want to use, we'll get ready to move into the next reading, and then Pat, just confirm that you're ready, and then we will begin from there. So, perfect, awesome. And Chrissy, how long have you been following my content? Just curious. And go ahead, team, leave some comments of gratitude, just thanking Chrissy, and again, thanking the United, thanking Pat as well. I'm just updating the info here. Christina, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, if you guys are new to my content, please feel free to let me know. Drop an 1111, or sorry, no, drop a 333 in the chat if you're new to my profile. And if you are new, welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. We got a super dope thing that we got going on here. So awesome. All right, team, we're just in the middle of getting ready to move into our next reading. I'm just waiting for Pat to confirm that they are ready. Assuming that Pat is here. If for whatever reason Pat isn't here, what we'll do is we'll get Chrissy to go next. Hold on, is the chat still loading? All right, go ahead. Can you guys just drop an 1111 in the chat, confirm that it's still working? Okay, it is. All right. If for whatever reason Pat's not here, Chrissy, okay, Pat's here. Pat, for the sake of time, we're just doing like one at a time. But again, every single one's like always like a team reading. So if anything, I would just say let's do one from one deck, and then maybe the next one, if Chrissy wants to agree to do it from the opposite deck, then we can do that. But again, for the sake of time and for the sake of my own energy and being fair to myself, one reading. And then we'll move into Chrissy's reading as well. So, and thanks again for understanding. And again, for Chrissy and for Pat, both of you guys signed up at the $11 level. So make sure you connect to our team chat in the Discord, and make sure you leave a message there letting me know if you want me to add you as a leading member. And make sure you read info about the leading member to make sure if it's something that resonates with you. All right, we're going to do the Lightworker Oracle deck. Sounds good, Pat. Thank you so much. And again, for those of you who just joined up, our Thursday team podcast is a conscious open mic jam. So if you guys got some poetry or music that you want to share on air, that's like conscious poetry and music, please feel free to join in. And again, make sure for anybody here, make sure you're connected to the team chat and you can get all our updates on the regular. All right, we're moving into the Lightworker Oracle deck. Pat is ready. So as we do this, we'll do this one, and then we'll get into Chrissy's reading right after. And let's work on reaching 178. So let's work on reaching another Patreon sign up by 11:30. So that gives us a half hour. That's a pretty big window. So for anybody here, if you guys are thinking about signing up onto the Patreon, only takes about 5 minutes to sign up. When you sign up there, you can join as a leading member. You can get discounts for the item shop. You can get access to exclusive content, including my 5-gram mushroom video. Which is only for my Patreon supporters. And you can also get access to our private community space as a leading member, and you can work with me as a conscious media creator. And we have a collaborative work period tomorrow that you would be welcome to join at 3 p.m. EST, and you can work with me, and I'll be there to support you as a conscious media creation coach. So again, I've got 12 years of conscious media creation expertise, and I'm passionate about being able to help you see your own value and share your own gifts. Okay, Pat, let's do this. Thank you again, everyone, and yeah, let's have some fun. All right. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. Lightworker Oracle deck. For everybody here, join us in doing this meditation together as we draw this next card. Pat, thank you again. Here we go. For everybody here, just go ahead. Gently, when you're ready, close your eyes. Just allow yourself to connect with your breath, straighten your posture, open your shoulders, relax your face. You can gently put your hands on your heart if you want, and just bring yourself into the space of gratitude. Just allow yourself to breathe in this moment. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for the space, gratitude for yourself, gratitude for the messages we are about to receive. As we move forward, we'll bring our attention to the intention of show us what we need to see. We being the collective, we being the team, we being the individual. And so for everybody here, show us what we need to see. Focus on that intention. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Pat, I want you to continue focusing on this intention. Take a few breaths, listen to your intuition, and when you're ready, type now into the chat. For everybody else, gently open your eyes, continue to focus on this intention, and drop your wizard noises in the chat. And let's keep charging the deck, and we'll keep an eye open for Pat's dropping the comment now, and then we'll split the deck. So here we go. And so as the magic continues to unfold, as we continue to awaken to this knowledge that is infinitely old, as we continue to climb new mountains and find hidden gold, treasures that await beyond the gates of our minds, as we continue to allow ourselves to elate in the joy and the mystery of what is still ahead, as we continue to help change this world with both the heart and the head. And so the wizard in me honors the wizard in you as we continue to come to this world to be able to do what we must do to shift the paradigms each and every time. For now is the opportunity for us to bring the rhymes. Go ahead, drop those wizard noises in the chat. I haven't seen any wizard noises yet. Drop those wizard noises in the chat. And breathing here into this moment as we continue to hold space, as we continue to own it. And we wait for that moment as Pat drops the now into the chat, and we shall pull the card and see what message the universe has. Any second now. New. Good one, Layla. Now, says Pat. Pew, 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 pew. Choo, 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 choo. Good sound effects, guys. All right. Ooh, I like this one. This one's really cool. Okay. Pat, you were right. You said this was going to be a powerful one. This is a really, really powerful one. So the card that we have pulled with Pat helping facilitate for the entire team, for anybody who's tuned in, this message, this card is for you to be able to support you on your journey as a shifter. Someone here to help assist with the shift in consciousness. Card number 14, Soul Child. So just showing it real quick to those of you on YouTube. I'll show it to those of you on Instagram, and for those of you on TikTok. Again, for those of you on TikTok, if you guys are sticking around for a minute, which I would encourage you to do, click the link in my profile so you can watch on YouTube properly, because that's where the camera is. Like, that's what I'm talking to. I'm talking to the YouTube camera right now. So it's easier for me to show you there. All right, let's get into this. I'm going to open up the book here. I'm going to explain to you the visual image, and then I'm going to channel some additional inspiration for you. Okay. As we're doing this, we'll keep an eye on the Patreon. Let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up by 11:30. After this reading, we'll get into Chrissy's, and let's just focus on this one here. So again, if you guys want to sign up for the Patreon while we're doing this, go right ahead. Or if any Patreon supporters want to upgrade their pledge, you guys can do that and get involved for a facilitation tonight. All right, look at this image. This is such a powerful image. So what we have here, we have this image of kind of like this like crescent landscape, almost as if it's being looked at through a fisheye lens. And you can see there's this child down on the ground, and they've actually got like a little teddy bear next to them. And then above them, you can see this like giant illuminated sphere. And so this is either presumably the sun, or maybe you can be interpreting it as something else. And you can see there's kind of like lens flares, or the lens flares themselves kind of look like little bubbles and stuff like that. And the landscape is this like deep red, like this super very dreamlike red, and the sky's got this very blue, dark blue color to it, contrast to the white, and there's a little cloud there. And there's something in the corner. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a being, but there's something in the corner there. It's hard to see. Kind of almost looks like a little alien. It's hard to see, actually. I don't know what that is. It's kind of weird looking. But yeah, super, super powerful image. So again, that's just a visual image. Let's read a little bit more from the book. And again, for anybody here, if you're here, this message is for you. Yo, Joel, thanks for joining in. Thank you, everyone, again, for joining. For those of you who are just making it here. For those of you who are regulars, and for those of you who are new as well. So this is the Lightworker Oracle deck. So again, for those of you on TikTok, do me a favor, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. And if you guys haven't yet, please feel free to like this video on YouTube, subscribe, do all that stuff. All right. Let's focus on this card. We'll keep an eye on that next Patreon. And thank you again, Pat. For anybody here, this message is for you. Number 14, Soul Child. As I'm reading this, you can kind of meditate, close your eyes, open your heart, receive. Rebirth is upon you, beautiful child of the universe. You have prepared for new life, and it is starting right now. The divine moment of rebirth, which occurs after a period of struggle, of intense inner work and physical transformation, has arrived. Enjoy getting to know this new self. It is a new day, a new beginning, a new you. Like an adventurer enjoying the discovery of a brand new world, take your time to explore the increase of your light, power, and love. You have undergone the death of the old order. Nothing is as it was, nor will it be so again. You have to learn detachment, to release and let go over and over again. This sounds very relative to the collective right now. In so many ways, you have experienced inner death as you have bravely surrendered that which no longer serves your growth this lifetime, even if you once loved it dearly or couldn't imagine life without it. Deep inside, through that process, your soul has been gathering energy. It has been drawing it away from the old forms of your life and relationships, from your old beliefs about health, finances, work, and from what used to hold meaning for you. It has done so in order to feed the new soul child being carried within your body. Your inner soul child, this newly integrated self, is preparing for birth now. From that which is no longer something new is being born. Again, as you're reading this, if this resonates, drop those 1111s in the chat. This is like a very, very powerful message. I'll talk more about it as we go. You are ready for the next cycle or phase of your life, even if, like a newborn colt learning to stand on shaky legs, you are not sure of your strength to be reassured. The new self you are experiencing will grow strong and powerful soon enough. Let confidence in your new self emerge. Reflect upon how different you are now to a year or even a month ago. Be curious about who you are now. Do not expect the same reactions or experiences you encountered in your past. It is a time of celebration and acknowledgement that a new day, a new you has begun a journey in the physical world. You shall enjoy the divine harvest of all your growth and efforts. This card can also indicate that a child around you, perhaps one about whom you have been thinking deeply, is particularly gifted or spiritually oriented. The child may have an important mission this lifetime and need your loving support and spiritual encouragement to thrive into that mission, according to his or her own divine timing. This card may also be a sign that a new business idea, professional or personal relationship, or lifestyle choice is going to support the growth of your spirit in a positive and encouraging way. If this is the case, that new idea or connection will lead you to the birth of creative new programs, ideas, and structures in your life. On the other hand, if something has been flagging in energy or success, but you are not yet inclined to give it up, this oracle comes as a confirmation and encouragement. Rebirth is going to happen. Don't give up. Sometimes it is darkest just before the dawn. Wow. Okay. Give me 1 second here. All right. So let's go a little bit deeper here. This is a very, very powerful card. Again, as we're doing this, team, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. We'll go right into Chrissy's after this. And yeah, you can find the link for that in the chat. And go ahead and you can do that now as we're getting ready. So this card comes with a very, very powerful message. One that I think a lot of us don't even really acknowledge. We don't even really think of it, especially as adults. You know, for the majority of us who are here, for the majority of us who are tuned into this broadcast right now, we're, you know, either in our 20s or our 30s, some of us not. But for those of us who have kind of like grown into our adult years and you know, those of us who are older as well, it never even crosses our mind, this idea that there's actually like a new version of ourselves that we're carrying inside of us. And so this card is reminding us that throughout our life, we will actually like birth different versions of ourselves. There's the us as a child, there's the us as like again kind of like a young adult, and then as we get older, there may be another version of us that is almost growing like a child as it begins to spiritually awaken. And I'm sure for a lot of people who may be new to their spiritual awakening, this probably resonates with you, where it's like, whoa, after I've kind of begun awakening, even within the last like 3 to 4 months, it feels like I'm a new child. Like it feels like there's like you're seeing things through new eyes. You're seeing things from this place of awe. You're just like amazed. You're curious. You're exploring. Think about that. All of those characteristics are very, again, kind of like childlike. So with this card, it's being able to acknowledge that if you do feel like this resonates with you, and if there is, again, kind of like this soul child that's growing inside of you, then you, as the conscious you, the older version of you that may be kind of like integrating with this new version of the soul child, is going to want to do its best to be able to help support the growth, to be able to help support this evolution. So it's about also being able to kind of like treat yourself as if you're your own caretaker. And how do we do that? Again, you know, like that means being able to take care of our physical body. That means by being able to connect with community. That means by being able to condition ourselves into new habits and routine that are going to continue to nurture the growth of this child. Otherwise, if you just ignore it, like again, you know, it just kind of like continues to, it won't thrive. It won't evolve. It won't evolve into more of what it is here to be. And what it is here to be is, again, almost like a next level version of yourself. And so with this card, I like how it also relates to the idea that for those of us who are in that adult year, or even for those of us who have our own children, let us be reminded that it is our responsibility as adults to be able to continue to help support the younger generation. Being able to help support kids as they kind of like open up to their spirituality is so incredibly important. And sometimes even as you do that, you're actually going to begin nurturing your own inner soul child, you know? Like you'll probably find like some sort of weird parallel where it's like, whoa, like this like 7-year-old kid is like blowing my mind, and like somehow they're actually more connected to their heart than I ever knew I was, or something like, and you start learning from them, right? So again, it's being able to understand that the child is not less or more than the adult. It's merely a stage of the evolution. It's merely a stage of the cycle. It's merely a stage of growth. So within us, it's not like our life is literally just like, you know, we're born and then we just go, it's like, it's kind of like we're born and then there's kind of like these like waves or these like spirals. I don't know. I can't really, I'm trying to figure this graph out. Like, what the frick does this graph look like? But it's not a straight line. You know, it's kind of like, if anything, okay, this is what it looks like. There's like, okay, this is us, like as we're born, it kind of goes like this. It's kind of like a dome. And then there's like another version of us that is also a dome, but it's like starting later. So it's like this is like that version, and then this version overlaps, and then it's like another version of a dome. So it's like two half circles overlapping, kind of like a Vesica Pisces, but as like domes. And so this kind of represents like cycles. This represents eras. And we actually see this. We actually see this with like the transitioning of the equinox, right? Like the Aquarian age is like we're moving out of crap. I always forget which one we're moving out of. We're moving out of the Piscean age. Is that what we're moving out of? But anyways, the ages overlap. So it's not like you just wake up one day and just like, I'm a new me. Like, I mean, it can happen. But if anything, it's more so, whoa, I'm acknowledging that there is like another layer of me that maybe I haven't fully connected with. And what happens when I do? What happens when I nurture that? And we realize that like that soul child is again, in some ways, like the part of yourself that is more intuitively aware of like the spiritual nature of this reality. They're more intuitively connected to it, much as to how a child actually would be. So there's an invocation here that I'll read in the next little bit. But I like this part. Be curious about who you are. Do not expect the same reactions or experiences you encountered in your past. It is a time of celebration and acknowledgement that a new day, a new you has begun a journey in the physical world. You shall enjoy the divine harvest of all your growth and effort. I mean, even just check in with yourself. And here's like a closer look at the card. I'll just kind of hold it there so you guys can see it properly. Again, even just kind of like checking in with yourself, you know, what would it feel like if you could start yourself new? What would that feel like? Like, you know, like what would that feel like if you were just like, tomorrow I'm going to kind of like redefine myself? And it's not like you're literally like swiping the entire slate clean. You don't have to do that. If anything, what you do is you take the parts from yourself that have grown, that have become a part of your character, you let go of the things that no longer serve you. You let go of the old cycles, and then you kind of like add it into this new version of you, and you optimize it, and you become, it's not like you're literally starting from scratch. You're like upgrading and taking the lessons from the past cycle and bringing it with you into the new cycle. So that's a very, very powerful idea, but I would really encourage each of you to just kind of sit with the idea that, you know, if you could, like, what do you want this soul child inside of you to be like? What do you want to learn? How do you want to grow? And what will it look like when it matures, right? So like you're kind of going through like a couple stages of maturation, you know, it's like you're kind of growing up as a child, then you go into a young adult and you mature. But then as you kind of maybe go through your 20s, depending on your journey, maybe you're actually not that mature because you maybe get drawn into the materialistic culture of mainstream society. And then you kind of go through your awakening. And then out of that, there's like another version of you that actually matures out of the immaturity. So again, it's kind of in cycles, but sometimes it's the immaturity itself that is actually the catalyst for the maturity, because you'll go through things and you'll be like, whoa, that actually doesn't resonate with me. Like, I did that once. I don't want to do that again. You know, sometimes you have to kind of like do things that you don't really fully agree with morally, ethically, in order to be able to be like, actually, you know what? That's not who I want to continue feeding. Who do I want to continue feeding? So this is an opportunity to create yourself. And I love the idea, the visual here. Again, you know, it's like this little child just kind of like in this, just like this beautiful landscape, and it's very dreamlike, and they're just kind of like worshiping the sun and just kind of like seeing the magic of the world around you. And I really encourage you to continue to practice bringing, again, you know, when you think of childlike, soul child, again, what do you think of? Like when you think of the positives and stuff like that, when you think of children, you think of the idea that they're curious. They see things through the eyes of awe, as if you're seeing things for the first time. You know, you see things from this place of constant learning. You see things from this place of trying to figure out who you are. And so acknowledge that there is a part of that is a part of your journey right now. There's a part of you that is being invited for you to really begin figuring out who you are. And there is no expectation that who you are choosing to create yourself as has to be the same as who you were in the past. You actually have a choice. And so find the parts of yourself that are like, yo, you know what? I actually really do like that about myself. I'm going to bring that with me. But if there's other stuff that you're just like, you know what? I've grown out of that. I've actually matured about that. Those other parts of myself, like they've kind of, you know, they've had their own cycle. They completed. I learned my lessons, and now I'm continuing to mature. So maturity is actually not just something that happens. It's something that you do, you know, like maturity is a choice. You actually consciously create a mature version of yourself by being self-aware. Lack of awareness will continue to propagate lack of immaturity. Awareness will propagate maturity, because it will cause you to be able to reflect and be able to say, do I want this to continue? Do I want this to change? Who do I want to be able to create myself as? And so the version of you, understand that there's this child version of who you are, and you kind of almost have to be like a babysitter for yourself and be like, what would I do to support that inner child version of myself? Oh, maybe I'm gonna go play in nature. Oh, maybe I'm gonna go watch the stars. Oh, maybe I'm gonna, like, purchase some sort of like new book that really inspires my imagination. Anything like that. So there's an invocation here. I'm going to read that in a bit. And again, drop the 1111s if this resonates with you. Drop an affirmation of how this message comes through you. So you could say, like, I'll say my own affirmation in a bit, but you guys can figure it out. The United Pat says, I am moved. I meditated on this before coming to you. Huge confirmation. This new cycle is going to be amazing. I look forward to your teachings. I look forward to what I am being born into once again. Thank you so much, Pat. Thank you so much. With that explanation, could you show? Okay, and then I showed the card again. Reminds me of the moon cycles. Yeah, very much so. Beautiful. Yeah, the glare of the, yeah, that's true. Like, I don't think that's just a glare. Like, it's kind of very symbolic too. Thank you, Pat, as well, for your kind words, and for everybody as well. Kyle says, amazing card reading. I feel like I did come here for a reason. I'm glad. Beautiful, Kyle. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining in. So here's a little invocation as I'm reading this. You can imagine your guys like hearing yourself say this. Invocation. I am a child of the universe, divinely loved and empowered to grow into a shining, radiant soul of love. May all aspects of my life journey be blessed to grow into their most beautiful and loving form. May all the people and ideas that are in need of protection so they may grow into divine fullness be blessed and supported by unconditional love. Through divine grace, so be it. So, and again, in addition to using the literal metaphor and allegory of a child, another metaphor you could apply this to is literally just thinking of it as a seed. This is how I thought about it growing up, where it's like literally feeling that there has been this seed inside of you that has been growing, this seed that has been awakening. You can think of it as like a pine cone seed that's literally opening. And so again, understand that the seed inside of you already contains the whole. Much like the child already contains the adult. It already contains like the fractal of what it is becoming. So you can think of it that way. And each day, I encourage you, I'm not just challenging, I am telling you, every single person here, like, this is an assignment. This is, again, something I'm telling you to do. Nurture your seed every single day. Even if it's just like a little drop of water every single day. Do something that is going to nurture your seed every single day. Whatever that may be. And that may be literally just as simple as listening to your heart and then getting the answer there. And so that may be, again, going out in nature, watching a sunrise, going and exercising, reading a book, not watching TV, turning off the notifications on your phone. Pro tip, turn off the notifications on your phone. That's a great tip. Reclaiming your sovereignty, reclaiming your focus, practicing meditation, changing your diet, all of the little things that make the big difference. So very, very powerful card. And again, not only reminding us to literally be able to support the seed and the child inside of us, but again, knowing that in doing so, we are also, again, parallel to the other cards, stepping into a place of leadership so that we can continue to literally support the literal children of the earth who are continuing to look towards us as role models. And how can we be that role model? And we can do that by being gentle with ourselves, and in turn being able to meet them as equals, while being able to honor, again, the adult, the seed that they are growing out, that they are growing up into. So soul child, honoring the soul child within me, within you, and within the world. So let us bring that child, support it, and let it grow into the amazing being it is here to be. And that being is here to change the world, and it already is. You already are changing the world. So it's already inside of us. Beautiful. Awesome reading, everybody. Let me know some affirmations. What would be a good affirmation for you after hearing that reading? I would say, I affirm I am supporting the seed inside of me every single day, while showing up as a role model for the youth of the present and the leaders of the future. That's my little affirmation there. Because straight up, like, that's what it is, right? Like, the children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. So, and who knows, we'll be leaders alongside them. they grow up fast, man. Like they grow up fast. Like it's crazy, you know, like kids that were 10 years old are now like 18 years old. I know it sounds so stupid. Humans grow up, but it's like it happens quick, man. Like suddenly they're just, you know, I just think of my nephews and stuff. They're growing up so fast, man. Like they're going to be 18 before I know it. And then they'll be like full grown adults. It doesn't take that long. I mean, it does, but yeah. Anyways, go ahead and draw some affirmations down in the chat. And I'll read some of those on air. And Pat, let me know if you have any other comments on how that was for you. And thank you again, Pat, for helping facilitate. That was a very, very powerful reading. So thank you, Pat, for calling it. Chrissy, let me know if you're ready, and let's get ready to move into our next meditation. And sorry, what am I talking about? Our next tarot reading with a little meditation. It's both. And Chrissy, let me know. Would you like the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck? And so again, team, we'll do this reading, and then we'll keep going as long as we keep having Patreon sign up. So this may be the last reading for tonight with this one for Chrissy. But if you guys want to keep going, as long as there are Patreon signups, then we'll keep going. So again, if you guys want to sign up for the Patreon, please feel free to do that. It's an awesome way to be able to help support the ongoing work that I do for the community. This is literally my job, my devotion. I'm an entrepreneur. And again, the work that I do, I provide a ton of value for the community and the people who are part of the community. You guys receive it, you acknowledge it, and you support it through the Patreon with monthly contributions. So when you guys are supporting me on Patreon, that's like you saying yes to the work that not only I'm doing, but to the work that we are doing and to your own growth. Because again, simply by being connected into the community is a huge investment for yourself. Is a huge investment to just be like in that space of accountability, and you can take part in our regular team meditations, our weekly podcast. Having that routine is really, really valuable. And again, you have access to me as a conscious media creation coach. So go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. Let's get that next Patreon sign up. Again, it's 11:30 right now. We were aiming for 11:30 for that next sign up. Let's see if we can get one before 11:45. And so again, this will be the last reading unless we do have another Patreon sign up as we're doing this reading. Beautiful. Pat says, I choose to let go of any fear. I am already here. Beautiful. Awesome. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, go ahead and click the link in my profile as we get ready to move into this next reading. And if you guys are going to sign up for the Patreon tonight, drop a 555 in the comments. Just be able to give us a heads up. Again, links through my profile and in the YouTube info and in the top right in the corner. And yeah, thank you again so much, everyone, for being here. All right, Chrissy has chosen the Ananda Tarot deck. So that's good. I know we mentioned before, we'll kind of like go back and forth between the two. So Chrissy, you are ready. Let's get ready to move into this reading. And thank you again, Chrissy, for being our most recent Patreon supporter. And thank you again to Pat. And thank you again to Isabella as well. All right, let's get ready to do this. For everybody here, inviting you to join us in this brief little meditation. You know what? Just give me a second. I'm just going to refill my water before I get doing this. That way so I don't run out partway through. So quick intermission, real quick. Okie dokie. All right, let's do this. I'm excited. Every card's a new adventure. It's true though, it really is. No, it's fun when we do this. We've been doing these readings for so long. And again, you guys give me the feedback. You know, you guys are like, yo, like this is like so totally like resonating with what I needed to hear right now. So it's the intention. It's the intention that really makes it powerful. And then again, that intention is held by us as a team. So thank you guys. You guys literally make this happen. So pretty exciting stuff. All right, let's get ready to do this. So for everybody here, join us in this little meditation. And again, Christy is going to help us facilitate, but everybody is going to help us drop into this meditative space to set the intention. Here we go. When you're ready, go ahead and gently close your eyes. Begin connecting with your breath. You can bring awareness to your posture, straighten your spine, open your shoulders, relax your face. And as you breathe here, bring yourself into this place of gratitude. You can put your hand on your heart, on your chest, and just breathing. Gratitude for the breath. Gratitude for yourself for showing up. Gratitude for the messages we are about to receive. gratitude to the team, gratitude to the space. As you stay in the space of gratitude, we'll bring our attention to the intention, show us what we need to see. And so for everybody here, just take a moment, just focus on that intention. Literally, just put your thought in that idea. Show us what we need to see. We being the collective, we being the individual, we being the team, we being you. Focusing on that intention, speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Chrissy, focusing on this intention still. Take a few more breaths here, listen to your intuition, and when you're ready, type now into the chat. For everybody else, go ahead, gently open your eyes, and focusing on this intention, you can type your wizard noises in the chat. And we'll charge up the deck a little bit more. And as Chrissy types now into the chat, we will split the deck. So here we go. And so, can you feel the vibrations continuing to rise as we continue to elevate this wisdom down from the skies, and in our hearts we continue to see all the ways in which we will be here to change the world as we unlock the truth within, as we show others that the true story will always begin from inside of you, of your being, within the core of who you are, as we continue to bring forth the wisdom of the stars. Poof, boom, boom, poof, poof. That's just laughing at you guys. Oops. Oh, sorry, Izzy. I hid your comment by accident. Breathing into this moment, we shall see what cards the message shall bring us. For we now, says Chrissy. Here we go. Beautiful. All right. Okie dokie. Chrissy, thank you so much for adding your support. The card that we have pulled is Swords number 4. So just holding that there for 2 seconds, and I'm going to open up the deck. We're going to get the image. We're going to get the write-up from here. And then from there, I'll channel some additional information for you guys to be able to hype you up. And again, for those of you who are new, if it's your first time here, drop a 333 in the comments just to be able to let us know. And again, we're building a team of shifters, people who are intentionally helping assist with the shift in consciousness. So this isn't just tarot. This is actually like team building. So you guys are getting to like meet other members of the team simply by hanging out here. All right, 4 of Swords. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm just going to explain this visually. And again, as we're doing this, let's work on getting another Patreon sign up. I'd love to keep doing some more readings for you guys. I got the energy. Let's keep going. I don't have to, I could stay up for a while longer, but we'll play it by ear. So if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and do that as you're watching this broadcast. It only takes a couple minutes to sign up for the Patreon. For those of you who are on TikTok, now's a good time to click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube, and you can find my Patreon link through my profile link and through the YouTube info. And again, Patreon's a monthly micro contribution. When you join there, you can join as a leading member in our community and get all sorts of awesome stuff. All right, let's focus on this card. What do we got? Swords 4. Image-wise, explaining the image. And again, I'm explaining it to YouTube. For those of you on TikTok, click the link on my Instagram so you can, in my profile, so you can tune in on YouTube. So we have this image here of 4 swords suspended in the sky, and each one is kind of a little bit translucent, and each one is pointing in a different direction. One down, left, right, and up. And the up one, each one, none of them are fully in the flame, in the frame. And you can see this beautiful landscape behind it with these very interesting clouds. You can kind of see the clouds are kind of like blanketing the entire sky. And they're also just kind of like got like this like weird kind of like branchy patterns in them. And then you can see this beautiful landscape down below. And yeah, so again, that's literally just me explaining like the visual image of the card. And now we're going to read from the book here. So, all right, again, if you're here, this message is for you. So let's do it, team. Let's do this. Let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up by 11:45. So if you guys are a fan of my work, sign up for that Patreon. I love you guys. Thank you so much. All right. If you're here, this message is for you. Listen with your heart. 4 of Swords, the image. Hinting at the form of a cross, 4 glass swords hover before an opening in the sky, pointing to different directions. Meaning, The four of swords points to finding the pathway to inner truth. This can be through decoding the unconscious, interpreting dreams, or reflecting upon the value of past experiences and their evaluation for future undertakings. Whichever form is chosen, it has a goal of returning a state of natural order. The conditions for this are inner collection and concentration. To achieve this state, inner peace is necessary in order to recall inherent powers and make use of their possibilities. Once set free, mental powers can be activated to work against the negative effects of worry and fear. If the inner call to peace and recuperation is ignored, it can be that the body reacts with sickness. Let me reread that. Once set free, mental powers can be activated to work against the negative effects of worry and fear. If the inner call to peace and recuperation is ignored, it can be that the body reacts with sickness. To support the process of becoming more conscious, it is meaningful to use current gifts and talents constructively. These consist of, among other things, the ability to write, to teach, and to differentiate. If inner actions are brought into the light of conscious thinking, a clear boundary is made to the outer world. Astrological significance: Mercury, Neptune, square aspects. Keywords: meditation, reflection, dream interpretation, order, finding oneself, awareness, processes, organizational abilities. Traditional meaning: stand still, limitation, pause, gathering new strength, forced rest, planning phase. Okay, all right, let's get ready to dive into this. So, very, very powerful card to be able to receive. The message here is again, probably one that all of us need to hear every now and then, where it's really inviting us to take the opportunity to slow things down before we get ready to dive into that next step. And so even with the previous cards that we were talking about, again, with the soul child, a lot of it was cycles, a lot of it was showing up in service. This is encouraging us that before we even make that full-on commitment or that full-on jump into that next chapter, we need to make sure that we've already done the work to be able to reflect on the past chapter, to be able to make sure that we're learning the appropriate lessons to bring with us into the next stage, to be able to understand that the challenges of our past are preparing us for the lessons and the opportunities of the future. And so with this card, it's really encouraging us to kind of listen to what is needed right now in terms of what does your body need. And if your body is telling you, yo, you've been going, and you haven't rested, you need to pay attention to that. Because you consciously have the ability to basically say like, nope, I'm going to keep working, way harder than I should be. Or I'm just going to kind of keep going until I burn the candle at both ends, so to speak. But if you do this, and again, I'm not shaming anybody if they do, because circumstances are always going to be relative. And I know people only work hard, again, oftentimes because it's just due to circumstance. But if we're constantly doing this from an unconscious place, then eventually we're going to get to the point where the body is literally going to result with what is referring to here as sickness, or something's going to happen, something that's going to say like, yo, you need to slow down, you need to slow down, you need to slow down. And if you're just like, no, I just got to keep going, then the universe will be like, it will step in almost like kind of like an adult, and it'll be like, okay, you need to slow down. Now you're slowing down. Like something will happen, something will pop up in your reality, and it will force you to rest. Like you'll stub your toe, you'll hurt your ankle, like sometimes physically, or like you'll get sick. And again, I'm not like saying like, oh, me saying this is going to make it happen or anything like that, but this is literally a pattern. This is literally a pattern that I've observed, basically, like where if you ignore rest, the universe will force you to rest, because that is what is needed. You literally need to be able to reconnect and recharge. And so again, I like the idea that with this is about a goal of returning to natural order. And so when we kind of stop doing so many things at once and just kind of simplify things, we're also strengthening our ability to be able to connect to the pathways of our own inner truth, which is the words that they use here. And so in the process of connecting with our own inner truth, not only are we allowing ourselves to be able to like return back to our base nature of peace and our base nature of clarity and our base nature of concentration, we're also allowing us to be able to tap into more of our inherent powers, our inherent possibilities, our inherent ways in which we can show up and help others, to be able to listen. If you're constantly going and going and going, the universe may be kind of like trying to communicate and trying to bring you messages and trying to speak to your soul. But if you're constantly going and going and going, those messages may not always come through. It may not always, like, you know, you may be too busy to pick up the phone. And so again, don't wait for the universe to be like, okay, you have to rest. Instead, make it a part of your routine to be able to integrate rest into what it is that you do. This is a very powerful idea, and I'll say this quite simply. Rest is a part of the work. You should take your rest as seriously as you do your work, because your rest is a part of the work. So another big part with this, another big theme with this is, again, also being able to understand that this is about working smarter, not just harder. Like, I know that's kind of a cliche thing to do, but in the process of doing this, we're also learning how to be able to cultivate new strength. Because if you're just constantly going through the same patterns and you're just like, oh, I can get by, you're probably going to get by, but you're not going to cultivate that new ability. So this is about really being able to be aware of where we're spending our energy, and at times making the choice to be able to say, you know what, like, this actually is something that I need to spend less energy on. And maybe that is people. Maybe that is like literally people that you are going to be spending less energy on, or certain groups that you're going to be spending energy on. And so with this, in the process of being able to invite ourselves into more of that place of stillness, it's also encouraging us to really get into that place of reflection, to get into that place of meditation, to get into that place of dream interpretation, to get into that place of finding oneself, of cultivating awareness, of returning to nature. And again, as we do this, this allows us to really understand more of who it is that we are. You know, sometimes we're so busy that we kind of forget who we are in a lot of ways, who we really are on the inside. So again, before we get ready to jump into that next thing, let us stand at the crossroad and kind of look both ways and be like, what did I learn? What did this teach me? And to be able to make sure that we're processing those experiences before we just rush ahead. Make sure that you really take that opportunity to reflect, and then making that process of reflection and meditation and rest and pause an important part of your step moving forward. So again, very, very, very powerful card to be able to receive. Let me know, drop an 1111 in the chat if this resonates with you, and you can leave an affirmation as well. I basically extrapolated the core of this message. At this point, I just don't want to keep repeating myself too much, but again, it's also encouraging us to be able to go into that place of rest, and from that place of rest is to be able to bring in more of that organizational ability, more of that reflection, more of that paradigm shift. So yeah, it's interesting because I can see in the comment, you know, like this pattern, like what I'm talking about, even though I'm talking about it on a personal level, it happens in the macro. And in a lot of ways, you know, you can literally see that this is what, you know, the pandemic is. Like, it literally is. It's the entire collective being forced to kind of slow down, being forced to reflect. And what's happening? We're awakening. We're being forced to turn inwards when we're kind of removing our connection with the fascinations outward. So this card is also really encouraging us to become aware of the relationship between ourself and our environment, between ourself and our fascinations, and to be able to balance a healthy relationship, and to really bring in that responsibility to understand that it is your job to be able to rest. Like, don't just think that the rest will just show up on its own. You need to schedule it in, you need to make time for it, and you need to practice saying no, and you need to practice saying yes to yourself. Because when you say no to something, that's also you saying yes to something else. So if you say, hey, no, sorry, I can't go out, or I can't do that responsibility right now, that's also you saying yes to, I need to be able to make sure that I'm taken care of. So don't just empty your cup continuously. Make sure that you're filling your cup, and then the overflow will serve others, which, again, I know you guys have heard that before. So drop those 1111s down in the chat. Let me know how this resonates with you. Again, Four of Swords, very, very cool card. And let's leave an affirmation. So an affirmation for this would be, I am I am committed to my work of taking care of myself and resting properly so that I can continue to show up for my community and friends and myself. So beautiful. So yeah, again, let's acknowledge that again, you know, the rest process is a part of the cycle. It is the breath, it is the yin and the yang. It is not an opposite, rather it is complementary. You cannot have the collective experience without both, with both the inhale and the exhale, the action and the rest. So beautiful. All right, Four of Swords. Thank you so much, Chrissy, for adding your support on the Patreon and helping us pull that card for the team. Very, very cool card that we had there. Again, very relative to our role as shifters, as light guardians, making sure that, again, our most important job is to be able to take care of ourselves. And as we take care of ourselves, we allow ourselves to show up to take care of others. And making sure that we're practicing our meditation and joining for our team meditations Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. EST. And links for those are through the team chat. So beautiful, team. All right, team, we're going to take a little bit of an intermission and we're going to stand by. And once we have another Patreon sign up, we'll get ready to jump into our next reading. I'll read some more affirmations in the chat. And again, if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, the link is in my profile. For those of you on TikTok, you can also connect to my YouTube there. For those of you on YouTube, the link's in the top left, or for mobile, the link is in the info down below, and it's also in the team chat as well. And again, when you sign up on Patreon, that's supporting the work that I do, that I'm devoted to doing as a conscious media creator. And I've been doing this for quite a while, like over a decade. And again, the work that I do, the majority of it is like so much value and free stuff available for the community. And then the Patreon supporters, you guys get exclusive access to our team chat for conscious creators and leaders, access to me as a conscious media creation coach, which is worth way more than $11 a month. And you also get to join our on-air team podcast, and you get to get items, discount for items at the shop, such as our beautiful Light Guardian crystal. Awesome. All right, team, just going to take a moment here to rest my throat. It takes a lot of work doing these, so thank you guys again for your support. And please feel free to even just like leave your gratitude. If you guys are enjoying this, your gratitude is always appreciated. It just helps pump me up. So beautiful. All right, team. So again, any other affirmations related to that card, go ahead and leave that into the chat. And Chrissy, I can see you responding to that too. Just acknowledging the rest that is needed. Absolutely. Yeah, so many shifts across the collective right now. So many people are waking up because of the circumstances. So let's make the most of it. Let's work with the natural cycles. Let's work with the natural flows. So beautiful, team. All right, let's get ready to move into our next reading as soon as we have a new Patreon sign up. Again, we're working towards our next goal of 182 on Patreon. You can currently see we're at 172. And I'd love to be able to reach 180 tonight. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but if we can get 3 new signups, that's cool. Again, right now, we're waiting for another sign up. If there's no new sign up as it is tonight, that's totally cool. And we'll just end the broadcast once we have decided that. I'm totally ready to like keep doing more readings for you guys. And again, just to be able to honor the space and the intention and my own energy that I commit into this. We'll do the next reading once we have another person signed up for the Patreon. Or again, for anybody who's already a Patreon supporter, if you guys want to increase your pledge, that is also an option. And then we'll do another collective reading for the team, and you can also choose to facilitate as well. So awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. And again, when you sign up onto the Patreon, you can choose if you want to do a reading with the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube, and you can also find the Patreon link through my profile and on YouTube there. And so again, if you guys are a fan of my work, if you guys are like, yo, thanks for rocking it and stuff like that, then definitely consider signing up for the Patreon when you get a chance. And again, not only are you supporting me, you're supporting the community, you're supporting the work that we do to be able to inspire people, and you're supporting yourself by getting access to our private community space. So it's a way to level up. So if you're here and you're passionate about leveling up, definitely consider checking out the Patreon. And if it resonates with you, please feel free to go ahead and sign up. And again, once we have another sign up tonight, we'll get right into our next reading. In the meantime, again, we're just in a little bit of an intermission phase as it is. So if anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. Let us know, and we'll get ready to do that. So And again, we've done 4 readings so far tonight, and there were some good ones, like a lot of really good ones. We had the Six of Flames, and then we had the Spiritual Service, and then we had Soul Child, and then we had Four of Swords. So there's some really cool ones there. And again, what we're doing here, we're not just doing tarot reading, we're building a team of conscious creators and leaders. I've been building this team for 10 years. And again, the project Paradigm Shift Essential, we've been creating conscious content all of these years. That's what I went to school for. For those of you who don't know yet, technically I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker. I've made multiple documentaries that have won awards. And you can check out some of those on my YouTube channel as well. Some of them are actually like conscious documentaries. Some really cool stuff there. And again, those are all available. Those are all for free because like the intention is for them to be seen and to inspire. Thank you, Roller Coaster, for jumping in on Instagram. If you're able to, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And again, through YouTube, you can find the link for the Patreon, and you can also find the Patreon through my link in my YouTube. And again, we'll go, like, I'm totally okay with resting. I'm not in a rush right now. What we're going to do, we're going to wait for the next Patreon sign up, and the next person who signs up, they'll help facilitate the next reading, just as we have done with the previous, and then we'll get right into the reading. So again, when you guys sign up, not only are you just like getting a reading as well, you're helping facilitate a reading for the entire collective. So I'd love to be able to do some more readings for you guys tonight. It's totally up to whatever the universe decides. And again, if we wrap things up in the next little bit, that's totally fine. But if you guys want to keep going with more readings, you guys can decide that. And again, if we have the signups on the Patreon, we'll get right into that as soon as possible. And in the meantime, I'm just going to kind of like chill out here for a bit and rest my throat. So, and for everybody here, just curious, how long have you guys been following me? If you guys just kind of want to give me an idea, because I know some of you are quite new. So, and if you're new, that's awesome. Thank you so much. We got a really cool thing that we're building here. Like, it's quite unique. Like the team that we got. So like, again, it's like a team of conscious creators. So there's like a bunch of people, like they're TikTok creators, they're YouTube creators. And again, we work together. We have collaborative work periods during the week. We have our team podcast on Thursdays. This week's podcast is a conscious open mic jam. We have our private team chat. And again, you guys can work with me as a conscious media creation coach. And again, that's all available for the Patreon supporters when you sign up at the $11 level. And that's as a leading member. So you can join as a leading member in the community. And we're currently at 177 on Patreon. Let's work our way up to I want to see if we can figure if we can get 180. So if you guys have been looking for like a team, like a really solid team of people who are dedicated to helping assist with a shift in consciousness and who are also conscious media creators, and you want to be able to like level up your presence on conscious media. And again, like this isn't like a gimmick. Like I'm not trying to like sell you some sort of program. Like a lot of it is like very chill, very organic, and very one-to-one and conversation. And so as a conscious media creation coach, you guys can hang out with me and we can just kind of talk about what it is that you're working on, what your goals are. I'll give you some feedback. We'll do some brainstorming, and that's what I'm passionate about doing. And we've been doing that for quite some time. So go ahead and check out my Patreon. If you're brand new, you can check out all the other stuff I've done there as well, including past meditations and our full-length movies, lots of free hugs videos, lots and lots of stuff. Again, 10 years worth of content is quite a bit. So, and yeah, when you're joining on the Patreon, see it as like an investment for yourself. And you can be as involved as you want, meaning you can be like literally in there every day, or you can check in, you know, the odd time. That's totally cool. So again, team, let's play it by ear. And if anybody is ready to sign up for the Patreon, drop a 555 in the chat. We'll wait here for the next little bit. And if there is no new Patreon sign up after this, that's totally cool. We'll wrap up the broadcast. And again, we got 3 signups tonight, so that's awesome. And we did 4 readings, so I'm happy with that. But I'm totally cool to do some more readings. I'll let you guys decide, and thank you again for your patience as well. And I may be live again tomorrow night. My goal is to like reach 200 Patreon supporters by the end of the month. So like this is literally my work doing this. It's my joy, it's my devotion, but it's my target goal to be able to reach 200 by the end of the month. And again, that supports not only myself, but the ongoing work that we do for the community and our global impact. So and I can also teach you guys like how to build like your own Patreon if that's something you're interested in. Part of what I'm trying to do, part of what I am doing is helping like 100 creators over the next 5 years become self-sustained in sharing their gifts with the world, meaning to support them in like building regenerative income as an entrepreneur. And you can do that with a Patreon. But enough about Patreon. I know you guys are excited to be able to get into that next reading, so we're keeping an eye on any new signups for the Patreon. And again, if anybody's already signed up for the Patreon and you guys want to increase your pledge, you guys are more than welcome to. And in the meantime, I'll just play here with the Light Guardian crystal for a second. So these things are dope. And again, when you sign up onto the Patreon, you can get a discount for these. You can literally make like your donation back literally just by getting one of these on the item shop. And again, links down below. You get 25% discount as a Patreon supporter on items. And this is a Light Guardian crystal. This is an exclusive item that's available through our item shop. As far as I know, I'm the only one who makes it within this current timeline. So, but it's very like ancient futuristic Atlantean technology. It says magical as you wish to see it. It's a quartz crystal, real quartz crystal. This was a Lumerian one, and polymer clay, and lots of love and magic. So, all right, I'm gonna restart the Instagram feed. Let's get ready, team. I'm excited to be able to jump into another reading. So if we got someone who's ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and do that. It only takes a couple minutes to sign up. And again, when you sign up, contributions go forward on the 1st of each month. So even if you sign up today, nothing comes out of the card until September 1st. And thank you again so much, everyone, just for your support in all forms. I'm going to restart the Instagram feed broadcast real quick. Awesome. Yo, Neil, thanks for joining in. Having some good readings so far tonight. All right. All right, team, standing by. Thank you again, everyone, for your patience. Thanks for just chilling out. This is like a chill zone for the team. And again, we're just standing by. And if there's another person who's ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead. And otherwise, we'll just wait a little bit longer. And if there's no new Patreon sign up, then we'll call it a night. And that's totally cool with me. That just means that I get to go rest. So. Are my glasses reflective? Probably. You can probably see like my 3 monitors set up. So. All right. Cool, team. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. And again, if you guys are ready to sign up for the Patreon, go right ahead. Thank you again to Isabella, to Pat, and to Chrissy, our most recent Patreon supporters from tonight. Okie dokie. All right, team. I'm thinking we may be wrapping it up. But again, if anybody's ready to sign up for the Patreon, you guys can do that. And just go ahead and let me know. But again, if we're wrapping it up sooner rather than later, that's totally fine with me. Like, we've been going for about at least 2 hours, so that's a good duration for me. I'm okay with going longer, but again, we'll play it by ear. So, all right. I'd be so, like, if we do get another Patreon sign up, like, I'm so pumped. We'll like dive into this next reading. We just gotta wait and see. Cool. All right, thanks again, everyone, for joining in. If you guys haven't yet, go ahead and click the link in my profile. You can find the recording for the broadcast tonight, especially if you're watching on TikTok and you're looking for the recording. And you can go back and listen to it at any point. All right. Cool, team. All right, team. Last call for anybody who's ready to sign up for the Patreon. Again, we still got like there's still got it like about like 10 people in here. So if anybody in here is ready to sign up for the Patreon, or again, if anybody who's already on the Patreon wants to increase their Patreon, then we'll jump into that next reading. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up shortly. And again, you can check out the Patreon. You can sign up for it at any point. So if you guys want to sign up for it a little bit later, that's totally cool. And again, I'll be going live probably tomorrow night. So, but yeah, it was a good broadcast tonight. I had a lot of fun. There was some good messages that came through. So thank you again for those of you, especially for those of you who may have been here for the first time. All right, team. Last call for any Patreon signups. If anybody's ready to do that, go ahead and just let me know in the chat. Go ahead and leave some comments of gratitude before we wrap things up here. And thank you again, everyone, so much for just hanging out here, for being a part of the inspiration. And if you haven't yet, you can click the link in my profile to be able to tune in to our team chat. Tomorrow, Kristen is going to be leading our team meditation, and that's at 10 a.m. EST tomorrow. So if you guys want to join in for that, please feel free to do so. And again, you can join our Discord server. And again, if you joined on Patreon tonight, make sure you let me know that you joined, and if you want to be involved as a leading member on there. So all right, thank you again, everyone, for joining in. We'll just take one more moment here just to confirm. If there's anybody who's ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and let me know, and we'll wait just a couple more minutes. And if we do have another person ready to sign up on Patreon, we'll jump right into another reading. Otherwise, we'll conclude the broadcast very shortly. So, so drop a 555 if you're signing up for the Patreon, like literally in the next less than however many minutes. So cool. Awesome, Chrissy. Great idea. Let's all go get some rest. Thank you, Chrissy, so much for your support on the Patreon. Chrissy, make sure that you join the team chat, or even just like DM me on Instagram, and we'll make sure that we get you synced up there as well. And same with Pat as well. Thank you again. Thank you again, Pat. And yeah, and if you guys wanted to be on air for the podcast this Thursday, you guys are totally welcome to. All right. Dual Koa. If you're looking for the Patreon link, the link is through my profile. I can see your 555 there, so we may, again, I'm not in a rush, so we may have one more reading. And Dual Koa, if you're signing up for the Patreon, go ahead. And again, the link in my profile also links you to the YouTube, and I encourage you to make sure that you're tuned in on YouTube. That way, so we can just coordinate the chat there. But we'll wait a few moments. If Dual Koa, sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, Delkoa. If you're signing up for the Patreon, again, Patreon is a monthly contribution, so it's like a membership. And again, when you join on our Patreon, that gives you access to our private community team space for conscious creators and leaders. So if you're brand new to my stuff, I would encourage you to check it out, read it over, make sure that it's something that you're resonating with, that it's something that you're interested in. And even if you just want to sign up onto Patreon literally just to support, like you don't have to join a private membership. You can literally just be like, yo, like I really appreciate the work that you do, and I want to be able to help support you in that way by contributing a monthly contribution. And so if you want to join at the $5 level, you can join there. You'll still get discounts for the item shop and access to some of the secret videos. Or if you want to join again at the $11 level, then you can join at the leading member. Thank you again, everyone. Again, I know for those of you who tuned in, I know you've probably heard me say the exact same thing multiple times now. But I appreciate you holding space again for the intentions of building the Patreon, because the Patreon is such a fundamental thing for helping support the work that I do, which again is supporting the work that we do for the community. So Dulkoa, go ahead and let me know for sure if you're signing up for the Patreon. We'll just wait a few more moments here. I'm not gonna talk too much, and because Dulkoa may be signing up for the Patreon tonight, we'll just wait a few more moments. No rush. So for those of you who are sticking around, if you guys are in a rush, even just keep us on in the background. Okay. I'm just gonna kind of sit here. Again, we may be wrapping up the broadcast in a minute. We'll see if Dulkoa is signing up. All right, team. We're gonna wrap up this broadcast. Thank you again, everyone, so much for adding your support. Stay tuned for more updates. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Feel free to join our team chat. We got our team meditation tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we got our team podcast coming up on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which again is going to be our open mic jam. And so if you guys haven't yet, go ahead and check out the Patreon. You can sign up for that at any point. Contributions only processed on the first of each month. And if you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram or leave a message in the team chat. So cool. I had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you again, everyone, so much. That was a beautiful experience. Awesome opportunity. Awesome inspiration shared. Wonderful practice. So until next time, everybody, keep it shifty, and I will see you in the future. Much love, peace, and wholeness.